right, let me turn this off.
All right, and we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you who've been used to our 𝗵𝗶𝗁 𝗕𝗶𝗁𝗍 series, Global Live Chat series, welcome back. For those of you who are new, welcome. I'm 𝗕𝗏𝗁𝗁𝗍𝗶. I'm based in Canada. I'm the host here. Every week, well, mostly every week, I invite special guests to my Global Live Chat channel. So then we can learn a little bit more about them, about their story, also about why. Why did they tap into the global online business opportunity? So today we're very, very, very privileged to have our special guest here. Her name is Crystal, and Crystal is a biomedical engineer, and her story will wow you tremendously. So stay tuned, and I'm going to ask Crystal lots of questions on your behalf, global audience. And we have 45 minutes, so we have lots to talk about. Okay, so Crystal, thank you so much for taking the time to come on my Global Live Chat channel. I really appreciate you.
Oh my gosh, I am so empowered by your lives that I have watched, and you inspire me in so many ways. So thank you so much for having me here, and I'm honored to be here. My name is Crystal, and I am a biomedical engineer. I am married. I have 6 boys, no girls. I am a grandma of one of my grandchild. And through this journey, it has been an amazing journey for me. Just like so many of you guys that are watching us, I was skeptical. I was scared. There's so much scam, so many things that are out there, and so many people get hacked and stuff like that. So, starting this business, it happened the same way for me. But you know what? I took a bold step and I set my fear aside and I started the business. I love that, when I met my coach and I was going through a coaching call, I just love that, we were just so authentic, and I connected with her so much that I just took the leap of faith into this business. And so far, it has been such an amazing journey. So for those of you who are watching us tonight, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for supporting us and for watching us. I am so excited to share with you my journey, and I hope you'll be inspired and you'll take the leap of faith just like I did too. So thank you so much, Karen, for having me here, and I greatly appreciate you.
Thank you. You're so humble. You're so kind. And I cannot believe you said you have 6 sons.
Yeah.
Did I hear you right? Like 6, the number 6.
Yes. Yeah.
How did you manage career, kids, and everything else, life altogether?
Well, my mom passed away when I was 16, and I was so lost in life. I did not know what to do. I did not graduate from high school, because when I was about to graduate high school that year, my mom, actually called the school and said, if you have a choice, whether you're going to leave school or you're going to come stay by my side, and I'm not going to have much time. And it was really hard for me to make a decision. And I thought if I stayed in school, it would be a better decision. But my principal called me into the office and said, if I stayed by my mom's side, it would be best for me. And I stayed by my mom's side. And 3 months after, I lost my mom and I was totally lost. So after that, I grew up, got married, never finished high school. I was 18 and I started working as an assembler in this medical device field, and had all my kids. And, we were just paying people to watch daycare to watch our kids for us while, I was just working at that time, because, at the time I was just so lost. I didn't know what to do, and was just balancing kids and did not have a degree, and was just pushing really hard through my job. And this is like the only job that I knew, in my entire lifetime. And it was just really hard because I gotta work hard. I just had to be there, show up every day, be on time, be willing to, accept any task, or if like a supervisor or manager asked me to do something, I just had to have the willingness to push through, and to show that I'm a good employee, to have that promotion, to be able to have growth in my field. And it wasn't easy raising my 6 boys. It was really hard. And it wasn't until I was 32 where I decided, my son, he was 14 at the time, and he was like, Mom, I wanted to talk to you because I don't want you to just live your dream raising us.
Mm.
I want you to do something more for you, because when we all grow up and we have our own life, we will be focusing on our own life, and you're not going to have anything that you've accomplished in your life other than having us as your children.
He was 13, you said?
He was 14, yeah.
14.
Mhm.
Pretty mature soul.
Yeah. And so I was like, I thought about it and I said, oh my gosh, I had a dream when I was younger, but when my mom passed away, my dream vanished. I wanted to become a secretary because I love typing.
Mm.
And I knew I wanted to type every day, and I thought secretary would be, a job for me in the future. But I lost that. My mind was gone. I was just focusing on raising my kids and, just to be there with them. And I never went back to school or anything, but the only thing that I knew was read and write, and, understood English. And I fought through by taking on tasks, being responsible, being someone that they rely on to grow within my field. And I was in the med device for such a very long time, and it was 17 years after, and that's when I went back to school. And finished. My husband was very supportive, and thanks to him, in that 4 years straight, I, received my bachelor's degree. And that was when he said, let's apply for that, engineering position. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready. And he's like, you are ready, because you were so ready for this and you can do it. But before I completed my college degree, I had to go into adult ed to get my GED.
Mm.
And after a month of going into GED, my professor told me that because all of my work and points and scores were really high, that I should go in and take my GED. And I went in, and 100%.
Wow.
Was so they were so surprised. And my professor then said, hey, let's register you right into college so that you can get admitted. And I went in and I took the assessment and I passed it, and I just went into college. And it was just very emotional, because my life with my dad, just like raising me and my siblings, it was just really hard. So
how many siblings did you have? How many siblings do you have?
So when my mom passed away, we had 9 siblings. So I'm the oldest of the 9. And I was when we immigrated to the United States, I was 3 years old. And my parents, when coming to the United States, it's kind of like our online business. And I wanted to share that with people, because they told my parents that coming to the United States, right after the airplane landed, that a lion would have its mouth open and it would just like eat us. And and every immigrant was so scared to come to the United States. And when we found out that it wasn't true, it was something that my parents sacrificed so much coming to the United States, and for a better life, to live the American dream. And I just
In which country did your family originally came from?
So, we are from Laos, but the Hmong and the Hmong community, which is our language, and it's just like living in the United States, where if you live in Laos, you speak Laos, but we have our native language, which is Hmong.
Mm.
So, we speak that language.
Wow. Because that took not just sacrifice, but a huge leap of faith from your family,
Mhm.
moving the entire family, such a big family, from one familiar place to another, like net new environment. That took
Mhm.
a lot of guts, right?
Yeah, and it's so sad that like they wanted so much for us kids, and they didn't speak English, they didn't speak the language, they didn't know what the country will give them. They just knew that because during the Vietnam War, that coming here would give them peace, and they would be able to own a home or land and be able to farm again. And so I have a farm right now. I live on a 10-acre farm, and my house here was built new for my family. And before closing, I took my dad to visit this lot here before we did our closing. And he faced away from the farm, and I was like, "Dad, it's time for closing." And he didn't turn back. He
Oh.
kept sniffing. And
Mm,
I felt like he was crying. And I said, "Dad, can you turn around? Because we have to go. It's
mhm,
time for closing. This is like our walkthrough only."
mm.
And he turned around and he's like, "Your mom deserved this more than me.
Oh.
She's the one that bore you guys.
Mm,
She wanted this American dream so much.
mhm.
And here, you have a land, you have a home. This is the American dream, and I'm so proud of you, but I feel that she deserves it more." And I said, "Dad, don't think about that. Think that you're very lucky to be here and to be able to witness this journey.
Mm. And
And
I'm sure your mom has been celebrating and watching over all of you from heaven. You know,
yes.
it's yeah, yeah. It's so amazing how a vision combined with courage, faith, determination could really translate into real, tangible results. And it's so impressive that one, your 14-year-old son was so mature to encourage you to pursue dreams, and two, you end up stepping into your destiny, and you as an adult student complete your learning in a very short period of time with stellar color. So you pursue biomedical engineer. Did you know what that entailed?
Yes, because I was already an assembler and I was already like a principal engineering tech. So
Mm,
I was already like supporting engineers, and I wanted the role for so many years. But, for I was working for 17 years, and after the 10 years, I wanted to become an engineer. But because without a degree, I couldn't do it. I
mhm,
couldn't do it. So I had to go and, get my degree before I was able to, that piece of paper, it landed me the job. Because right when I received the degree, my husband told me to start applying for jobs. And he, because he was like a research and development engineer, and I'm a new product development engineer. So what that means is that when he's a research and development engineer, he works with the physician
mhm,
to see what works in during surgery.
mhm,
So he understood what I needed to do, and he actually interviewed me even before an employer was like interviewing me. And so I kind of knew what to say. And so when I was applying for the job, I was able to get the job, and I was
mhm,
able to get right into the field. And since then, I've just been here working as an engineer. Um, you know, like I validate and submit reports to the Federal Drug and Administrative, so that products can be used in human, and that they're safe, and that we have like a history, a record of how it works in patient, if there's anyone that was affected by the design and things like that. So we work with regulatories, clinicals, we work with physicians, and we work with Federal Drug and Administrative to release products. So yeah, I do that
You
on
guys are the power couple. Your husband is on R&D, and you're in the actual development of that. Do you own the patent, or the company you work for own the patent of the actual design?
So the company owns the. I don't own any patent because I don't work in research and development. But my husband, because he works in research and development, he has his name under the patent. So
Amazing.
he does own like over 17 patents.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
You and your husbands are saving lives around the world. That's so amazing.
And it's so amazing that, like we have these testimonies just like our business too, and people, patients, they come on campus and share their journey on the devices that has helped them change their life, giving them like a second chance in life. And when you are helping other people to get a second chance in life, you think about you.
Yes.
You think about what you can do for you. Here you're doing it for someone,
Yes.
but what about you? Because you keep, like for me, I keep building someone's dream, right? So I've been in the corporate world for 32 years, and this is all I know.
32 years. I'm trying to do the math. 32 plus the 17 plus the previous years. You are looking so young. That's amazing. The secret of staying young, right? Staying young. I know for a lot of our global audience, they may or may not know what kind of biomedical devices are we talking about? How impactful these devices are, and how life-saving. And do you want to give an example, just so our global audience who's not in this field could appreciate how impactful your role is?
Yeah, so in my role, I work with cardiovascular devices and neuro. Cardiovascular deals with the heart. So anything with like atrial fibrillation, or the rhythm, like our heartbeat, right? Because our heartbeat, it has a rhythm, and when that rhythm is off, we use like the pacemaker. We make the pacemaker. It has that electromagnetic to control the heart, so that it can pump regularly. And with people who have plaque in their heart or in their vein, we make stents, and these stents go into the vein, and it opens up the pathway in your heart to allow blood to flow. And then, I'm specialized in electrophysiology, which is a new thing where right now they use the electrophysiology catheter to burn the plaque instead of like placing a stent. They burn the plaque. So that's my specialization. And for catheters or balloons that goes into the brain, that balloon, they inflate it, and it stops the blood flow, so that they can send a retrieval catheter through the brain to retrieve the blood clot from the brain to prevent stroke.
And I am fascinated by that, because I also study science. So, and in healthcare, healthcare was how everything started in my life. And that's why I really appreciate your explanations, because I'm sure our global audience as well. Now, you hold the key to save lives, many, many lives. And you've done that for many, many years. At what point did you decide that, you know what? I've been building dreams for others. I've been building dreams for the organization I work for. I've been building dreams for patients who benefit from your creation. Now it's time to build your own dream. When did that happen? When did that pivotal point happen?
I think like it happened when I was really young already, because when I was like in my 20s, my husband and I, we try so many business, because as much as we're pushing so hard in the corporate world, we're always building something behind our job. So we've operated like cleaning business. At the end of work day, we would go out to the med device company. My husband would write contracts, and we would go out in the evening when everybody's off work, and we would clean the offices and
Wait, pause for a second. Pause. Let me ground myself. So both of you, highly professional R&D engineer, biomedical engineer, who's got an amazing job, stable job. At the end of your work day, both of you shift gear and work for your own cleaning company.
Yes,
And did you both like put on the gloves and did it yourselves, or you hire people?
we did it ourselves.
Oh wow.
My husband, I could not do the bathrooms. So my husband did the men and the women bathroom, but I do the mopping. I clean the kitchen. I take out the trash for the offices, and I do the vacuums. And my husband, like he would go to the kitchen, and he would like clean their stove and put things back into the cabinets and things like that. So we're always helping each other, but it didn't seem like it was working out. So we
So
got
both
out
of
of.
you really had a strong design. Well, one is that both of you had the same vision, because not every couple
Mhm.
are on the same page, right? And
Yes.
both of you are on the same page. Not only that, you've got that burning fire to reach that goal no matter what, right? Because
Mhm.
for a lot of well-established, with high credentials professionals, they're not as flexible. Let's put it that way. And a lot of times, they're the egos that stands in the way. The ego is like, you know what? I'm not gonna be doing anything else but my profession.
Yeah.
So remind the global audience again, what was that burning desire between or among you and your husband that led you to venture into different kinds of business? And I'm sure a global audience would love to hear all the venture that you both had embarked on. Yeah.
Well, as a Hmong immigrant, we don't have our own country. We live in Laos, but we don't have a Hmong country. Like, you're from China, and
Hong Kong, yeah, Hong Kong, China, same,
yeah,
yeah.
and you have a country. But
Mhm.
for us, we didn't have something like that. So coming to America, we had to work really hard. We had to really push ourselves. And first of all, my husband came to the United States without his parents when he was like an eighth grader. And he had to work. He had to like catch worms. He had to like pick dog poop from other owners, and he wasn't picky about what he was doing.
Mhm.
He just wanted to have a better life, and
Mhm.
nothing was going to stop him. So when we got married, we were both very passionate in wanting more.
Mm.
So when we talked about what we wanted to do, we were both in.
Wow. That's how the resilience, adaptability, and the receptiveness came about. Because you both of you have seen how the past generation had to endure and fought for freedom, fought for next generation. And wow, that's amazing. So cleaning company was one. What were the other business?
And then after that, we opened a tax preparation business.
Tax? That's a totally different feel. But you hire somebody, right? Or you both
No,
did it?
my husband did it.
What? Wow. Okay, but didn't he have to have some sort of license, or he was doing
Yes.
more of the? Oh, he
Mhm.
actually earned the license to help people do taxes. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
because he wanted to try, and at the time it was pretty hot, and he wanted to do it, so he had to go out and get licensed so that he can run that business. But it wasn't bringing enough revenue
Uh-huh.
as well. So then we went into like a donut shop, And
From that to a donut shop. But did you guys sleep at all? Because you guys already had 6 kids. Did you guys
mhm.
sleep at all, like on top of the full-time job?
We
No,
we did. We did, but not that much, and we had to like help each other and balance things because when he was like taking the kids out for classes or things like that, I would like try to manage the business myself because like when we started the donut shop, it was when he started the tax preparation, that was him. The cleaning business was him, and then I wanted to go into the donut shop. And when we balanced between the then we when we got into the donut shop, I was doing more of the work because it was something that I wanted to get in. And so I would have to go like when I got home, I had to like go to the donut shop. I had to prep the stuff. I had to, get ready for tomorrow. And then the next day I was working like second shift, something like that. And then I would have to like go sell donut, open the shop up until noon. And then people would like have breakfast at 5 o'clock, and then they would go up to noon, and then I would close the shop, and then I would come back home and then work. And then at night I would go straight back to the shop. And then I would like work on the doughs and get the dough set up and put it in the fridge so that we can fry it in the morning. So it was a lot of balancing, but we did it for 2 years, and
wow.
we didn't give up yet. We went into food truck.
From donut shop to food truck. And was this your idea or your husband's?
It was my idea because when I had a parallel degree. So I also, besides my engineering degree, I also got a parallel degree in business and computer science and management as well. So when I got done with that, I was like, okay, well, I can be my own manager. Well, I, talked about owning a food truck, and we had no clue what we were getting into. We didn't have any support. We asked other food trucks where we could go sell, but they wouldn't tell us. It was like, if I'm going to tell you, you're going to steal
the business
my
from them.
customers, and
Right.
it would be competitive. So, it was really hard to get around, and it was so much hard work that my husband was so burnt out. Like every time we sell food, we couldn't leave the place, even though our food ran out. We had to stay until all the food truck can exit and the event was over. So it was really hard for us when we had
Were both of you the chef? And
he was the chef and I was the order taker and to put out the order.
I am just astounded by how versatile both of you. And did any of your children complain to any of you during this period of how much work time you devoted and they may not have any time from you?
Yeah, I think they said that our dream is too weird because they were raised differently.
They were born here, right? They were born here.
Yeah, they're all born here, and they live a good life. We give them what they want. When they go to school, they have all that they want, and they just call it our dream.
Yeah.
Just like how this farm is, because now it takes us like every 2 weeks, it takes us like 8 hours to mow the lawn, and none of our kids want to do it. So they said, well, it's your dream, but yes, because they said that once we're no longer here, they no longer want to run the farm. They're just going to sell it because it's not something that they want. But we bought this farm because my mom, she passed away at a very young age when I was, even when I was really, really young too. And, this was really much for her, to do her dream for her.
Right.
So my kids did not want to work really hard out on the field. But, me and my husband, we were dedicated to, and we said, once we purchase it, we would farm and we would help each other and we would tackle it together. So after the food truck was when we thought farming would be the thing. And
yeah,
it was one thing after another. And until
serial entrepreneur, indeed. Like, wow. So after all those amazing experience, fast forward,
Mhm.
what connects you to a global online business opportunity?
So I was working on the farm, and my back would hurt so much. The next day, like, I couldn't even crawl to work, but I had to show up, and do the work and then come home and I would farm. And COVID, I was working from home. I was working remotely for 2 years.
Mm.
And going back into the field, it was just really hard. And I wanted to continue doing that. And that was when I was asking, I was praying, and I was like, man, if I could find something that I can work remotely, maybe if I was able to make some money out of it, I wouldn't have to farm. Even though I'm living on the farm, I can earn an extra income and I wouldn't have to work on the farm.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't have to do that intense labor, or whenever my husband's not around, I wouldn't have to worry, because he was always the lifting the stuff, because we would bring it to the farmers market and serve our customers.
Mhm.
And so I was like, we can't be doing this. Like, we're mid-age Christ. We're not going to get to
And
it.
your kids were not too fond of continuing this journey. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. And
Yeah.
that's when you found the online business opportunity, because you were searching online for remote online work.
Yeah, I never touch social media. I just have my page. I have like 24 friends, which is my family.
Mm, 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 mm.
And so when I was praying for a change was when I saw my mentor's ad.
Mm.
And I was like, hey, she's small, but she's working in the online space and she doesn't have a job like me anymore. Like, that's my dream. I want to do that. Like, how can she afford to just stay home, not work at all, And that was when I said, I'm doing this.
Which year was that?
2022.
So 2022, AI wasn't as popular. Well,
Oh.
it started around that time.
Mhm.
What led you to believe that it may not be a scam?
After I talked with the coach, she connected with me so much that I just had the trust in her. And I just said to myself, with all my other businesses, I didn't have lifetime coaching and mentorship.
True.
It was very competitive. It was like I was going to take their customers or their business away from them. And if it's lifetime coaching and mentorship, why not? And that was the trigger. I took the leap of faith because I knew that with the help and support and the guidance, at the time, I thought I was an old dog that couldn't learn new trick. So that was something that triggered me to take the leap of faith and just do it, as long as I had the support and the mentorship. And so that really helped me, because when I was setting up my business, I had no clue. They were like setting up the system. I said, why do I have to do that? It was kind of like at my job, you ask the 5 why, right?
That's right.
And I was asking all the time, and so thankful to my mentor and coach. She is the most patient person. When I was going to give up so many times, for those of you who are watching me live right now, trust me, there's so many moments in my online business that I was going to give up, because I had a good career. It's paying me well. And as much as I'm putting myself under heat with my other businesses, I was making a great earning in my job. And I was like, I will put the business on hold and I will build it as time goes. But 5 months later, my boss called me into the office and said I was overpaid, and because of financial issue, they were going to let me go. 5 months later, they laid me off.
But you contribute so much. You worked there for so many years and
Mhm.
saved a lot of lives.
Yeah.
And that's the trend that we've been seeing over the since COVID,
Mhm.
and even now with AI, innovation, staffing, funding cut, economy. Like we've seen waves and waves of announcement of cuts, and this has become the norm.
Mhm.
And when you heard that, how did that make you feel? Given that you've worked so hard, I'm sure you work long hours, and you met all their mandates, and you sacrificed time with your family. What was the first emotional reaction you had when they shared that unreasonable news?
I was crying in tears, but you know what? It's so weird because I came home and as soon as my hand touched the knob coming into the house, my mentor called me. She
Oh
called
wait,
me right away.
this was during the time that you already started, yeah?
Yeah,
Started.
I started the business for 5 months and I didn't run the business. I thought I had a great job and
Yes,
I can grow slowly, but
that's right.
5 months after they let me go. And
Yes.
so I came home and the minute that my hand was going to touch the knob, my mentor called me and I was crying. I was like gushed in tears and she said, "Hi, Crystal." And I couldn't talk. And she's like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, I've been training an intern for 2 years. And they said I make too much and they were going to cut costs and they let me go. And without the job, I don't know what I'm going to do. This has never happened to me before.
Hmm.
It was about me leaving the company, but it wasn't about them letting me go, and she's like, and then she's really smart. So she's like, you know what, Crystal, but you wanted to start a business so that you can be your own boss and you can free yourself from the corporate world. That's why the Lord has given you a chance to grow your business.
Amen. Amen.
So
Wow.
tomorrow, if you're willing to push through your business, let's put up a strategy together and let's meet and I'm going to help you. And the next day, she put that plan together and I executed it.
Hallelujah. See, it's all divinely orchestrated. Set what we normally think is setback is actually set up for more success, better blessing, more opportunities. Wow. You know, I think your life story can be used as a movie. You and your husband, oh, it's so encouraging, so inspiring, especially not just for this generation, but for next generations, because like you said, they're so comfortable, right? They often get whatever they want.
Right.
By really learning inspiring life journey like yours and your husband, I think they can get a lot of insights and empowerment. So wow, I'm still trying to, comprehend all the things that you share with me. So then, you and your coach strategize the game plan, you
Mhm.
execute it, and you really now ran your business seriously.
Mhm.
So, at what point did you confirm with yourself that, you know what, this is how I'm gonna live my life? I'm never gonna go back to the corporate world because this is the vehicle that's giving me what I wanted all these times.
It's really hard because I thought about leaving my job, but in the back of my mind, I just worked so hard for it too, like the degree, the wanting so much and being able to get out there and, giving people a second chance in life. That's why I'm still at my job because every day I feel that I'm making a difference.
Mm-hmm,
My
mm-hmm.
business, every day I'm helping people. I'm a coach in this business and I meet people on a daily basis. And I truly love that, when they do convert to a business owner, that I get a chance to work with them and see that their lives can be transformed.
Yes.
And I've seen so many people that I've helped through this business that it's me. It's not through a company, but I myself work individually with these individuals,
Yes.
and for me to witness their growth, to see who they've become, man, I get so teary when I talk to them, because I have a stay-home mom business partner with no income, and I've been able to like help her and see her change through this business.
Wow.
And I just love seeing that. I just feel that if we give us enough chance to believe ourselves, to push as hard as we do for the corporate world, we can definitely do better for us. And I would do 3 times to 10 times more for me, because every time there's a conversion in my business, I would tell my boss, I said, there's an emergency, I have to go home.
Yeah, I mean, the feeling is undescribable, because like you said, it's a life transforming experience. And no other roles or corporate roles. I mean, yes, in your case, you're creating life-saving devices, but this one also saving lives, because there are many lives and families connected to this very individual, and there's just a positive domino effect. So you're actually doing it both. You're doing in the biomedical engineering world as well as the online world. So looking at the journey so far, if you had to tell your younger self about online business, what would you tell your younger self?
I would say, you wanted to be a secretary so much, and now being in the online space is definitely the future, and something that, used to be your future as a secretary, being able to, be online and being able to help people and give people direction. And now, I'm a leader myself. I'm able to help so many people transform and change their life, and even my own. I've been a part of the story, and it's just truly amazing. So I would tell myself that, with what you see and how you push through, you've done a great job. Because without, like, I started this business, and I was scared to go live like this with you.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
I was so scared. But, I talked to my dad, and before my dad passed away, he said, don't be scared. When we were in our country, we could not have a voice. We could not own a business. Now I brought you here in a country that gives you the right to speak.
Wow.
And you should be able to speak up. Because as an engineer and in my culture, if you go out like this, there's going to be pros and cons, right? There's going to be positive or negative feedback. And it was really hard for me to come out as a Hmong woman. But with my dad's courage, I was able to push through and go on live and share my story and share about my business and grow my business, and to even meet people like you and to come here, it's just.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Ooh. Oh, I wanted to say, ask. You said you were not, you were relatively shy. You wouldn't have done live like this. If you had to pick 2 other areas that was completely developed because of this online business, what would it be? Like, before the business, you wouldn't have done X, Y. Now, after the online business, now you're doing X and Y in addition to live chat.
Yeah, so I really want to share this, because before, I never thought I was beautiful enough to go on live. I was beautiful to look at my own picture. I never wanted to. And then when I started this business, I never had when I started this business, I didn't have the courage to even post my picture out there, because I was like, Who's gonna be attractive to me? Like, I'm not even pretty. I'm not even
You're
like a
beautiful and
model.
graceful and joyful. Oh my goodness. Your smile and everything. Oh, I think that's what the devil does, all the lies and lies, right? And to sabotage us. But no, totally. You're absolutely beautiful.
And then now it's like, thank you so much, because now, like, I look at my videos and I love myself and I compliment about myself and I love the journey that I'm on right now. Because one thing I want to share, before, if I would have gone on social media, I wouldn't get paid for it. I would just be showing myself. But now I love it so much because when I'm out there, I'm inspiring, motivating, empowering people, and I'm getting paid in my online business,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
To just show up and to show my face, and whether I'm beautiful or not, I'm authentic.
Yes.
And
Yes. And,
that
and I know a lot of people when they hear, oh, you mean you got to show your face on social media? Right off the bat, they might say, oh, I don't think that's for me. Important to note that you can also do faceless. You can do faceless social media. But let me tell you from personal experience, I'm someone, in case you haven't noticed, Crystal, I'm someone who would just share the good news with anyone, everyone, if I found that such good news is so worthy to be shared. So I don't really
wow.
care. I'm like if I try something or if I went to a nice restaurant, I'll just share away. Well, some people might like it, some people might not like it because of personal preference, but at least I share it, right? So right off the bat, I was already like, share it. you know,
Wow.
because I'm like, why save it just for myself, right? Because there's so many people, especially now, who are looking. They just don't know where to look. They don't know what to look for. They don't know how to do, right? So I'm like, we're
Wow.
here as a vehicle, as a vessel to share, and it's up to them to decide whether or not it's something that they want to pursue in understanding better, do the due diligence and proper research, then decide, right? So I just wanted to encourage those of you who are watching online or even the replay that if deep down inside your heart you feel that you are worth so much more, you're not being appreciated or valued at your workplace or whatever, like you have a dream because God placed a dream in you for a reason. So
Yeah.
until you find that, you will never feel that 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 destination achieved, right? So keep
True.
searching, keep knocking, then the doors will be open to you. And we're just here to share. At the end of the day, you have to take that next steps in order to see what's behind the doors, right? So I know that we share a lot, like Crystal share a lot, and there's so much to be shared. And I wanted to just encourage those of you who have been having this small, still voice to really trust that. And for those of you who've been led to this global live chat through Crystal, please go to her website. The website is right underneath her name. Go to her website, register your email address, and find out what is this about. There's step-by-step instructions telling you what you need to know about. Same thing, if you were led to this live chat because of me, then you can go to my website and follow the same steps. You just have to put your email address. Gmails are preferred. You register email, then you'll be able to watch free webinar, free information. So do your research. That's the least that you have to do for your life, right? Hey, we don't know what the future holds. We know the Lord holds the future, but you got to do your steps too, right? So, Crystal, if we were to give our global audience a single word as our heartfelt advice so that they can really trust their gut feeling and take the next steps, what would that word be if you have to give them that word?
I would say don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, because your future self, the successful self, is out there waiting for you to take that action and to do something different. Because if you never do it and you always waiting for someone to approve you, because I came into this online business with families thinking that it's a scam. My skeptical husband, even though we support each other, we go through so many business in our life here, and it was really hard for him since we purchased this home and the land and everything. Like, the cost was really high, so he was really against this business. But you know what? I took the leap of faith. I made everything happen. I made him believe me that I was able to earn in the online space, and I was able to break through
Wow.
that barrier of skepticism.
Mm.
Now he is one of the business partner, and so are my two other sons.
I was gonna ask you.
Yes.
With all the past businesses that you and your husband did, I was like, oh, for sure, you guys are gonna jump right in, both together. But wow, he was skeptical. Then that made
Oh,
it even
very.
more challenging for you to take on this new journey. And then now seeing him being your business partner, that's a huge win.
Yeah, he would ask so many questions. Like, he's like, every time I celebrated a milestone or a success in my business, he would always say, "Well, you're not where you need to be yet." But then, like, yes, but then in March, when I reached my milestone, that was when he believed that everything was coming true. Like,
Uh-huh.
my life has been transformed. My life has been changed. It has given me the opportunity to be with my family, to start owning my own time, and to start earning in my business. And that that I was able to prove that. So if your husband or your family doesn't approve you, that doesn't mean you step back and you stop your dream. If you believe that you want something more, you need to go out there and do what it takes to prove people wrong, to
Yes,
prove to people that you are more than what they think you are, because
absolutely.
you can be the best version of yourself. And if you have the burning desire to do something, take that leap of faith. Sign up with either one of us.
Hmm.
Find out what it's about. It doesn't hurt because we're not a scam. You're not going to lose anything.
Yeah. And for both of us who work so hard in earning our reputation, we would be doing this live publicly and
Right.
risking our high, hard-earned credentials, right? So
Right.
we're here because we want to spread the good news that somebody spread to us, right? We're just giving back. And I wanted to say, if an R&D engineer who was once skeptical and now became a global online business partner, that in and of itself already tells you this is something that you need to take a closer look at. Like for my husband, right off the bat, he's been bugging me. Hey, when can I start? When can I become your partner? When can I do it? I said, wait. And I said, let me test it out. Let me prove it. And, no, I wanna be part of it. Because
Oh
he
my
knows that every time I work on something, it's gonna be good, right? So I said,
God.
no, be patient, so that once I reach a certain milestone, I'm like, okay, now this is the time.
Wow,
You
congrats.
can come,
Oh my
partner with me. Yeah.
God. Congratulations to both of us. That is so amazing, right?
I'm grateful because it's funny to
Wow.
see him being impatient, wanting to wait till I give him the green light. I was like, no, you wait.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's cool.
gosh. And then I'm totally opposite. Like, I started the business, and when I asked him if he wanted to come on board, he's like, I don't know, you can open an account for me because I wouldn't want you to retire and leave me out. So,
That's
you
true.
know, I
Very
want I
logical.
want to start now. And I said, well, you can partner with me and not run your own business, but you can partner with me. And he didn't want to partner. He's like, no, I want my own account because I want to retire when you retire, because I don't have time. I
Hmm.
don't want to be working on the farm, and so
Meanwhile, like you're traveling around the world and then partying, right? And you mentioned your two sons also started their online business, yeah?
yes, they are doing really well in this business too. And so You know,
Did
we're
you
all
did you suggest that, or they came to you and said,
no,
"Mom, I want to know"?
they came up to me one day, and my son came up to me one day and he's like, Mom, I see you on live. I see you doing this business. What if I do the business? Like, I don't want to like contribute to 401k because I'm young. I have to wait that many years to be able to use the money. But if I invest in your business, it would just be like putting money away from my 401k, but instead I get paid right away, you know?
Smart boy.
And I said, oh my gosh, yes, you
That's
can have
true.
an
That's
account
true.
because you're over 18.
Yeah.
And that's when I got both of them their own accounts. So
Wow. Wow. You know, I love how our kids, our family witness how transformational this business is on us as well as on the journey. Because my 14-year-old actually asked me, this must have been a couple of months back, or maybe late last year. He said, Mom, when can I become a global online business partner of yours?
oh my
And I'm
god.
14. I'm like, well, you're only 14, so you have to wait till you're 18. And then he start saying, oh yeah, this was March, Punta Cana, because I took them, to the meeting. And then he was like, okay, because he pretty much, I share with him what the business model is like. It's very simple. Even 14-year-old could understand, right? And then he goes, oh, okay, I get it. So these are the leading things that I would be doing in preparation for my 18-year-old. These are the things that I think should be.
Oh,
I'm
how
like,
sweet.
wow, that's so smart. Yeah, totally. So if our business could enlighten even a 14-year-old to start brainstorming strategies even before he's eligible to become a business partner, this is definitely worth looking into. Our business partners ranges from 18 years old to 90 some years old. I believe last time we heard was 96 years old. So you're never too young, you're never too old if you have a burning desire to attain your dream. This is the vehicle that does not require you to be owning, like having the business owning you. You know, the traditional business is that the business own you, right? You have to be tied down like 9 to 9 in the physical store.
Yeah.
This is totally different.
And you
So
know, it's like your degree and my degree, like in this business, we didn't have to go that far, right?
yeah,
We have a system in place where you didn't like, if we didn't have our degree, it would work the same for us because
exactly.
right, because
That's
we
why
have worked for so many years and student loans and being in debt, and here we start a business
and
and
then grinding the hours so
yeah,
that we'll get promoted, right? And then taking on projects that are totally outside of our scope, and get no extra pay. And then what was it? I lost my train of thought. Just got so excited.
meeting
Okay, so,
deadlines and
so many, like pretty much all of my guests from all over the world, they said the exact same thing. The one that stood out the most was the California GP and genetic counselor. She said the exact same thing. We were like, it took us so many years to study, earn our credentials, and then
yes.
to climb up the corporate ladder. When it comes to this online business, it's so simple to the core, yet the ROI is so much more than our high paying, by society definition, high paying job. And then we're like, where have we been?
Right?
What are we doing? Right?
I know. Like, I thought it was so late for me because my stay-home mom business partner, she said, you guys have a degree. You guys can do this. I can't. But now she's proven everything that you do not need to be smart. You do not need a degree. You don't need all of that because we're in the same business.
Yes.
We have the same equal right.
System.
And
Yes.
it doesn't judge who you are.
Yes.
So as long as you're willing to give yourself a chance, grow yourself, and let others inspire you, motivate you, and empower you to be the best version of yourself, anyone can do this business. It's
Well
not
said.
like
Well
how
said.
Karen and we had to go out and get that piece of paper and show it to them in order to get paid and get the job, right? This
Yep.
business, you start you are just like any one of us because you have the same system like we do. And if you really want it, go and get it.
Yeah, and what popped up in my head is like you got to have that childlike faith, also to be coachable, humble, and open-minded. You know, I have to say that for any profession or professionals who earn their way up to where they are, oftentimes they may not be as coachable or humble enough because they have this well-established status, right? So, but then when you have someone who's got that burning desire and that childlike faith, just follow the rope, they're often the one who succeed faster and go further because they just follow the steps, step by steps, and not skipping steps. You know, sometimes people are like, I probably know how to do it. I'll just skip steps. Oh, as soon as you skip steps, that's when you have to fix the problem, you know?
Right. You're right about that. I totally agree with that because some people think they know more, but then when you dive down, you know, there's something that is really important that you didn't catch it. And that's why I always remind my team, it doesn't matter where you come from. We're all in this and we're all going to get something out of this, you know, together, because we can work with each other, help each other, support each other, just like how you and I are here. We're supporting each other. And as much as we're so global and we haven't met, right?
Yeah, this is our first time.
This is our first time, and it's so amazing, and we're so connected, and it's so wonderful. And that's why this is why I love this business so much, is because we can connect so well with even people we don't even know or haven't met in our lifetime, but there is a reason why, right?
Totally. And this is the community that I love so much, because I've never been in such a supportive, loving, caring, collaborative community.
Yes.
It's totally day and night when you compare this community to the corporate world. Corporate world is not like that. So,
I know.
You know, it's like, wow, is this even real? And you know that we talked about iron sharpens iron, right? And when you surround with like-minded people, then you end up being the better version of yourself. We're the average of 5 people whom we surround ourselves with, right? So I just love it, because otherwise we'll just go through the motion, like how we were conditioned to go through. And then before we know it, on our deathbed, we'll be like, okay, what just happened over the last couple of decades? What did I do? What did I not do? And then the what if start coming up, right? Oh, what if I did this? What if I did that? So let's not leave any regrets. Let's not wait till we have no more option than say, oh, I should have. So thank you so much, everybody. It has, and thank you so much, Crystal, for sharing your amazing
for having me.
Movie-like journey. Movie-like. I think you should really consider it. You know, sell this to a film producer and say, you know what? I think this is something that I should create a story out of it. And, and just inspire the next generation, right? I mean, not just next generation, inspire me and inspire a lot of people. So I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing your authentic stories. Wow, I'm still.
I appreciate you having me. And, you know, this is actually the very first time that I've been able to share my, you know, journey, deep dive, and you know, it has truly helped me to be the person that I am today. So if you are watching us, have that burning desire, change it. If you really want something, go out there and get it and connect with us. When you ask, it doesn't cost you a thing. Other businesses can probably scam you or take something away from you, but this business has been around for so many years. And we're real people. And like, you know, Karen said, we work so hard to just be the person that we are today. And we wouldn't be here just to scam anyone or, you know,
that would be so silly, illogical. Like nobody would do that, you know? Yeah, so it's really out of our own heart. We wanted to share what we have benefit from. And again, if you have that small still voice inside of you, listen to it and take the next steps. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much again, Crystal.
Thank
And
you
on
so much
behalf
for
of
having me. It's so wonderful being here.
you, and on behalf of the global audience, we thank you. Thank you for your loving, caring, sharing. So until next time, everybody, take care, take action. God bless. Okay.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye.
Bye.